Hey guys, I'm Laura from Laura Lee Creative, and I'm so excited to be here today with HoneyBook and Rising Tide to bring you video number 2 for the October Business Planning Challenge. Today we're going to be talking about goal setting, and I'm so excited to share this topic with you because this is something I am so passionate about. The problem with goal setting is that come January, come the new year, we set all these big shiny goals and dreams, we write them in our planners, we write them in our Google Docs and our dream boards, and we are so excited about taking action on them. And we're so fired up that this is going to be our year. We're going to make $100,000 and we're going to book 20 clients and lose 10 pounds. And then what happens is we get really overwhelmed and we don't actually look at those goals ever again come January 7th. So today we're going to talk about 3 different types of goals, why you need them, and we're also going to talk about a step-by-step strategy that you can use to actually achieve all those big, scary goals, because we are so excited to see you move forward in your business and see growth in your business, and setting goals and setting a plan to actually achieve them is one of the ways that you can do that. So today I'm so excited to bring you these strategies, and I can't wait to see what goals you achieve this year. So I'm going to flip my screen so you guys can follow along on my slides, and I can't wait to get started. Now we are going to go over 3 different types of goals. So the first one is income, the second is personal, and the third one is business. So we're going to dive into each one of these and talk about how we're going to set these goals for each of these types and what questions to ask ourselves. And then we will dive into the strategy that's going to help us achieve any different type of goal. So the first one is income. So when you're thinking of your income goals, I don't want you to just throw out a random number, like I want to make $100,000 revenue. That is not helpful. What you first need to figure out is what your fixed costs are. So fixed costs might be your mortgage, rent, any type of insurance that you have and pay for, all your utility bills that are the same every month, any software subscriptions you use for your business. So for example, I'm a photographer, so I use Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop every month, and there's probably 10 other programs that I use every month, but those are fixed costs because I'm always going to be using them. It's going to be the same cost every month, so I need to build that into my operating cost of business. And something like a car lease or something like that, or maybe you lease an office space or something. So those are some examples of fixed costs that you first need to write down, all of those, so that you get a better understanding of what you need to make to meet your cost of living. So the second type of cost is a variable cost. So this could be something like groceries, business coaching, education, courses, stuff like that. Going out to lunch, meetings, all of those are variable costs. So you want to figure out what your variable costs are each month. And within this list, I also want you to include things that are on your wish list. So if you have a conference that you've been dying to go to, it happens every year, I want you to include that in your variable costs. If you have a workshop you know you want to go to, or if you want to hire a business coach this year, include those in your variable costs. And you can do like a subset to your variable costs and be wish list. So these can all be things on your wish list, but I want you to be adding up to create your total number of revenue that you need to break even. And then from there, you can figure out how much you actually want to profit. Like maybe you want to go on vacation, that can also be included on your wish list. So we're going to figure out what we need to revenue to break even, and that is the minimum that we can make in our business. And then from there, we're going to go and see what we actually want to make. So we're going to add on to that break even point and figure out what we want to make. So how do you actually achieve these goals? Like saying $100,000, that's not helpful. How are we actually going to do that? So one of the things that HoneyBook is really awesome for, and I'm going to share with you the back end of HoneyBook, is giving you profit and loss reports and using all the HoneyBook monthly reports in your bookkeeping and the report section. So I'm going to show you the back end of HoneyBook, and this is the bookkeeping section. So up here you'll see that I can add payments, I can add expenses, and then I can determine a profit and loss report. So you can do the last 30 days, the last 90 days, custom, so you can pick a date range, and you can see here that the profit for this month, this is a demo account, is $2,017.69. So what I would do is go in every single month and see what your profit and loss is and see where you're at in regards to your goal. Let's just say $100,000 to keep things easy. So you're going to use these bookkeeping reports in order to help you stay on track towards that bigger goal. And HoneyBook also has a really cool reports section, and you can use this to see how many leads you're actually booking. So you can see your success rate, and hopefully it's a good number. You can see how many payments you've collected, what payments are outstanding, where your leads are coming from. And again, this is a demo account, so if you were actually pulling in leads on your contact form, you would ask where they found you, and then you can see where to spend more of your time or where of your marketing money. If everybody's coming from the Knot or Wedding Wire, maybe you want to up your advertising budget with them. If you get a lot of vendor referrals, just keep loving on them, taking them out to lunch, stuff like that. So you'll be able to see where your leads are coming from. And then you can also see monthly analytics. So if I clicked on any of these months, it would download a report for me that I can view all my expenses, my projects, my payments, and stuff like that. And what's really cool too is you can actually go onto a calendar and see when you're going to get paid. So if you're planning a big trip or something, you can go onto the calendar and see when payments are coming in and when payments are due, and it's really exciting to see what is going to be coming in every month. So that is how I use the reports and the bookkeeping in HoneyBook, which is really, really awesome to stay on track. And I absolutely love it, and it's really helpful to look at every single month so that at the end of the year you're not super bummed that you didn't make it, because if you're seeing that one of your months isn't quite where you want it to be, you know that you need to up your marketing game to bring in more clients and bring in more revenue. So now we're going to move on to personal goals, and with this is really, really important. And as business owners, I think that we spend so much time on our business that sometimes our personal life goes to the wayside. And I want you to actually be writing down goals for your personal life so that you don't get burned out and you don't feel like you're drowning. So at the beginning of the year, I want you to set some goals, and we're going to go over a couple questions that you can ask yourself in order to determine the right goals for you and your lifestyle and your family. So the first question is, how much time do you actually want to work? If you say you only want to work a 30-hour week, then don't make a ton of ambitious business and income goals. Well, income, okay, but don't make a ton of ambitious, huge business goals that are going to take 70 hours a week to achieve. So I want you guys to be reasonable and figure out how much time you actually want to work a week. And then I want you to determine what your core values in your business and your personal life are. So for me, adventure, gratitude, community, self-care, balance, these are 5 of my 8 core values at Laura Lee Creative. So what I want to do is then schedule them into my calendar. So on a weekly basis, I will schedule when I'm going to the gym, when I'm going to read a book, when I'm going to have a date night or go on an adventure with my boyfriend, pictured here. And I can actually schedule them into my calendar so that these aren't going to the wayside, like they actually become tasks. And then I want you to figure out what your personal and your professional priorities are. So figure out what your non-negotiables are and schedule them into the calendar. If going to church on Sunday and having Sunday dinner with your family is a non-negotiable, make sure that you're never taking on client projects on a Sunday. So go through these questions. There's going to be a workbook to download after this video, and this will really help you figure out what your personal goals should be so that you are not drowning in your business come the middle of the year. So now we're going to go on to business goals. So the first question that you're going to ask yourself is, what dream projects do you want to work towards this year? Do you want to host a workshop or launch a conference? Do you want to book 20 clients this year? So what dream projects do you want to work towards? Just write them all down. You can brain dump on a list, and we can always cut back later on. We can kind of trim the fat, so to speak. So write down all those big, scary dreams. We don't need to break them down yet. We're just going to pick out the overarching dream, and then figure out how they will help you reach your income and personal goals. And remember, these all should kind of be working together. So make sure that your business goals are aligning with your core values and your priorities, and they're going to actually help you achieve your income goals. And then we're going to talk about how you're actually going to get there. So this is what I'm really excited about. We're going to be diving into strategy. And on the next slide, I will show you how I broke down one of my yearly goals and how I'm actually achieving it. And then we're going to exactly show you how to do this in your own business for each and every goal that you set. So my goal was to book or get 10,000 subscribers to my newsletter list. So we're going to go through the strategy, and then I'm going to show you how I broke it down. So first thing is we're going to start with our yearly goal. So your yearly goal might be host a workshop, book 20 clients, something like that. And then we're going to review the last year of our business and see where we have been before so we can set goals for the future. Because we always want to set forward-moving goals. If we only booked 10 clients last year, maybe our goal is to book 15 this year. Or 15 last year, we're going to book 20 this year. So we always want to be moving forward. And then once we have that yearly goal, that can be really overwhelming. I mean, if I'm going to use 20 because it's an easy number to do math on. So we're going to say the goal is book 20 clients a year. That's really overwhelming. So what we're going to then figure out is what we need to actually book per quarter. So quarterly, I need to book 5 clients a month. So 5 clients every 3 months sounds way more doable than just 20 clients. So from there, we're going to break it down into projects. So how are we actually going to book those 5 clients? And this is where your marketing strategy might come in, your branding, your networking, stuff like that. So you're going to break it down into projects. And then once you have those projects, and again, the projects can be rather big, overwhelming things, but we're going to break those projects down into tasks and subtasks, and we're going to add it into a task management system and set due dates. And the last thing, again, I'm going to show you all of this in an example in just a second, but the last thing that we're going to focus on with this goal setting strategy is your habits. So what daily habits do you actually need to create in order to help you achieve your goals and work towards them? So it might be that every day you need to build a habit of posting on Instagram if you want to get those 20 clients and you want to up your social media game. It might be that once a month you ask a vendor out for coffee and collaborate with them. So what are your daily habits or your monthly habits that you're going to need to implement in order to achieve your goals? So now that we kind of know the strategy, I am going to break down exactly how I did this for one of the goals in my business this year. So the goal was to grow my newsletter to 10,000 people. That's really, really overwhelming to me. So quarterly, I figured out that I need 2,500 people on my list every 3 months. So from there, I broke it down into projects. So what are the things I can do in order to actually achieve that quarterly goal? Like at this point, we're literally throwing the yearly goal out the window. I mean, that's still what we're working towards, but we're really just focusing on hitting that quarterly goal. And that's just our yearly goal, honestly, just broken down, divided by 4. So a couple projects that I added into my task management system in order to get 2,500 subscribers every quarter was to guest blog, to pitch to podcasts, blog regularly with content upgrades, and do 1 webinar per quarter with Facebook ads running to it. So once I had those projects, they're still pretty big. So we have to break those projects down into tasks and subtasks so that we have actual actionable steps in order to get to this larger goal. And so what we're doing is basically just putting one step in front of the other. It's like running a marathon. The only way that you can run a marathon is putting one step in front of the other. So that's exactly what we're doing with our goal setting. So once I had these projects, I can then break them down into tasks and subtasks. So I'm going to use guest blogging as an example. So one of the steps might be pitch to the blog. Once they say yes or no, I'm going to outline the blog, write it, edit my copy, gather pictures, submit to an editor, and so on. So those are the now baby steps that I'm going to take in order to submit a guest blog. So I do this for every project. If I'm pitching to podcasts, if I'm writing blogs, I write down the tasks and the subtasks for every single project so that I'm doing little baby steps in order to achieve the bigger end result. So I highly recommend, you have to do this, is put it into a task management system such as HoneyBook or Asana or Trello or Todoist and actually create a project digitally. Don't just write this down on a Post-it note or a notebook. You will lose it. You will never look at it again. So write it down into a digital task management system so you can set tasks, subtasks, and due dates. That's the really important key here. We need to set due dates to give us drive and give us a deadline to actually complete those little tasks. And again, we're focusing on habits here as well. So what do you need to do daily in order to work towards your goals? So that is the strategy, and I'm so excited that I got to share it with you today. I can't wait to see what goals you are going to achieve this year. Please share with us, and please take action. So below this video is going to be a free take action guide below to help you map out your goals. It's going to ask you some of the questions we went over in today's video, and you are going to be taking action real soon and getting on your strategy on, and I'm so excited to see what you achieve. And now it is challenge time, because this is a challenge. So I want you guys to now head over to Instagram and share a personal goal that you have for the next year. Tell us what's been holding you back from achieving it in the past, and tell us the first 2-minute step you're going to take towards achieving it. And that 2-minute step is just the littlest thing that you can do to achieve it. Like if I'm going to the gym, my 2-minute step is putting my sneakers on, because once that's done, it's like the wall is broken through. So head to Instagram, share your goal and your 2-minute step, and I want you to tag 3 friends to help keep you accountable, because accountability is huge when it comes to goal setting. So remember to use the hashtag #OctoberBusinessChallenge in your post and tag HoneyBook and Rising Tide Society in your post. We're going to pick one winner at the end of this entire challenge to win a free year of HoneyBook, so you can make your 2018 the best year yet. I'm so excited that I got to hang out with you guys today, and I can't wait to see what you do in your business.